ओम स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमस्यतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। I had been recently to United States. This was my fifth visit to America. The first visit was in 2010 when I had gone there in the month of July, basically primarily to participate in the 19th International Congress on Vedanta, which was held in Massachusetts University. And of course, there were so many other programs that were added, and that was the time when I took that opportunity of visiting all the places which were sanctified by the visit and the stay of Swami Vivekananda. Shri Bhogibhai Patel took upon himself the job of driving me to all these places. So I had a great desire to see all the places sanctified by Swami Vivekananda in America, particularly the Art Institute of Chicago, where Swamiji had delivered his historic speech on the world's parliamentary religions on 11 September 1893, and other places, South Pasadena, where Swamiji had stayed, and the Thousand Island Park, where he had Nirvikal Samadhi, Michigan Lake, by the side of which Swamiji had entered into a deep samadhi. All those places I had already visited in 2010. So my thirst for seeing those places was quenched at that time. Afterwards, all the visits were due to some lecture tours mainly. So 2013, some lectures were organized. In fact, I was to organize the main event, but it did not come through. But in the meanwhile, some lectures were organized, so I went to America. 2015, basically, I went for participating and addressing the 6th World Parliamentary Religions. It was held in Salt Lake City. And that time, then I took the opportunity of, and then there were so many other programs in various parts of America. 2018 was the 7th World's Parliamentary Religions held in Toronto. At the time, on my way back from Toronto, I had visited various places in USA and delivered speeches there. After that, naturally, there was this COVID-19 coronavirus and pandemic, because of which all my tours were postponed. And there was a demand from many devotees that I should visit once again America. Particularly, the World Parliamentary Religions was to be held which was held in August, Chicago. At that time, there was a possibility of going there, which did not take place. But in the meanwhile, so many other places they wanted me. In the meanwhile, there was the invitation of the founder CEO of Dexterity Global, Sharat Sagar. He invited me to be present to address the annual global conference in Chicago on 14th. So gradually other lectures also went on getting added. Ultimately, 21 lectures were organized in 24 days, apart from including 3 parlor talks. So 18 talks plus 3 parlor talks. I started from Rajkot on 4th of October in the evening, reached by 9:30 at Delhi airport. Many organizations and individuals and devotees had come forward to sponsor my visit. But ultimately, it was the ticket which was sent by one of ex-students of Ramakrishna Ashram Rajkot, Sri Prafulbhai Patel, who is a dentist there in America, and he has a big network of dentists. With his all family members, they have about 200 centers there, dentist as dental clinics. So he sent me the business class ticket. I said, no, I always travel on economic class. But he said, no, I am not purchasing the ticket. This is because of I have got remaining points. So you must go by that. So anyway, it was a comfortable journey, naturally. Sri Prafulbhai Patel had come to receive me at the airport. He took me to his house, which is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On 7th, he took me again to the airport for going to St. Louis. And 7th night, I reached St. Louis. 8th morning, there was a talk on happiness and peace in everyday life. Now, this St. Louis was earlier not in my agenda. Earlier, I was to go to Canada, and my talk was scheduled to be held at Toronto on 8th of October, being a Sunday. But somehow or the other, the visa of Canada did not come, and my application was rejected by them. So, in a way, it was good. It was a blessing in disguise. Why? Because on one front, it was going to be it was already very hectic schedule, and after the inclusion of Canada, it became much more hectic. And I had to go within 4 days, 4 places for lectures. So that was one thing, that because I did not get the visa of Canada, that too much hectic schedule was avoided. And second thing is that they had given me an opportunity of once again visiting Swami Chaitanya Maharaj. I had gone there in 2018. He is a very learned monk, and he knows, he had privilege of coming in contact with many senior monks of our order. So, Prachin Sadhuder Kotha, the story of Vedanta monks, is a very famous book by him. So from that you come to know that he had met many senior monks, and he knows about the traditions of our Ramakrishna order much better. And he loves me also, so that this gave me a privilege. It was a privilege for me to be in his company. So anyway, I delivered a speech on 8th morning, and 10th evening another lecture on mind, medicine, meditation. And spent a very nice time there in the company of Revered Chaitanya Ji Maharaj. We had a lot of talks, particularly related to the lives of the Holy Trio, Sri Ramakrishna, Sarada Devi, Swami Vivekananda, and the direct disciples, and about our traditions of our order and all that. And funny stories also, at the same time, very elevating spiritual stories and spiritual talks we had. So on 12th, I took a flight to Chicago, and Sharat Sagar, who had organized my talk, he received me at the airport, Chicago airport. And 12th evening, there was a satsang organized in one of the devotees' place. I went there, and then I talked about Holy Mother, and there some question answer session was there. Then 13th morning, one of the devotees, he took me to Art Institute of Chicago, because I was relatively free on that day. Another parlor satsang was to be on 13th evening. So 13th morning, since I was free relatively, he took me there. Though it was raining, but we went there. And it was a blessing, because once again, I was standing on the same grounds where Swami Vivekananda had stood in 1893. The Art Institute of Chicago is the same building, but inside everything has been changed. So the staircase which are in the middle of the building are the same, over which Swamiji would have walked. But after that, inside, there was no staircase, and there was no going to first floor and and that museum and exhibition that they have made was not there. These are all recent changes. And this whole building was divided, in the ground floor was divided into two parts. One side was the Columbus Hall, second time was the Washington Hall. So this time, because I had a lot of time at my disposal, I tried to find out which place exactly Swamiji would have stood. So thinking that it was made into two parts, the staircase, the center of staircase is the center wall dividing the two halls. And so on the left hand side was the Columbus Hall. So the dais was on the right hand side of that hall. If you see the original old photograph we find, on the left hand side is the dais, on the right hand side is the dais, on the left hand side you see the galleries where a lot of people are sitting, listening. So thinking that near the staircase might be the wall where that platform would have been there, dais would have been there. Now a new hall has been made, Fullerton Hall. But I was told by the guide that the present dais is on the left hand side, if you go on the front side. But when you enter on the front side, on the last is the dais. But no, that was not the dais. Dais was not in that direction. Dais was in this direction from the door through which we enter. That is the place where that wall was there, and that is the place where the dais was there at that time. So it was very interesting to know many things from the guide, and we came to a conclusion where actually Swamiji would have stood up on that historic moment when he called them sisters and brothers of America, and all they had stood up and clapped and clapped. So we wanted to relive those exciting moments. So we meditated there, and then 14th evening there was a satsang in one of the devotees' house. There was a question and answer session, and that was all on 13th evening. And 14th morning, there was the real talk for which I had gone, that is Dexterity Global and Global Conference. And on 14th evening, there was another talk organized by Vivekananda Vedanta Society of Chicago in Home of Harmony. And this Home of Harmony is a new concept that has been developed, and is a new edition. So there they had organized my talk. Swami Ishatmananji had told me to speak on Swami Vivekananda Gujarat. So I had prepared a PowerPoint presentation which I presented there about Swami Vivekananda, what all the places he visited and what all the places he lived and he stayed, and what all the places have been already converted into memorials and all that I presented there. 15th morning, that was the annual fall banquet program of Vivekananda Vedanta Society of Chicago. As you know, that annual fall banquet, it is an event whereby the donors come there, sit together, declare their donation for the cause of Vedanta Society. At the same time, there is some lunch, there is some devotional song, there are speeches. So Swami Sarvapriyananji, myself and Ishatmananji, we delivered speeches there. On 15th evening, there was another talk and another program, Unitarian Church of Chicago, where Swami Vivekananda delivered his speech on 15th October 1893. That means immediately after the World Parliament Regions went on till 27 September 1893, and after a few days, this lecture by Swami Vivekananda was organized in this Unitarian Church. It was a different name at that time. So the abbot of the church, Unitarian Church there, the authorities, they wanted to celebrate the 130th anniversary of Swamiji's visit to Unitarian Church. So they had organized a program and they invited us. So there are many followers of that church also, and the followers of Vivekananda Vedanta Society. All of them were there, and there was some choir and then some music. And then there were speeches by myself, Ishat Banerjee, and Sarvpriyananji, and from their side also they made some speeches. And finally, an interesting thing happened. We also saw the table which was kept there at the time of Swami Vivekananda, has been kept by them, preserved by them as a sacred relic. So we touched that table also, and at the end of the program, there was a group photo, and the photographer said, I will say 1, 2, and then you have to say Swamiji. So he said 1, 2, and we said Swamiji. So the abbot was the head of that church. She was so excited. So she went on saying Swamiji, Swamiji, Swamiji.
At 1, 2, 3, say Swamiji. Swamiji.
And then I said, no, we say at the end of the program, Jai Swami Vivekananda ki Jai. So all of them, they say Swami Vivekananda ki Jai. So we had a great satisfaction to visit the same Unitarian church, same place where Swami Vivekananda had delivered his historic speech on 15th October, same day. It was in 1893, and this was 2023. So 16th morning I started. One of our devotees, Mahesh Bhai Lad, he took me in his car to, first of all, to Bloomington. There was a talk on happiness and peace in everyday life. But since the devotees wanted, it was in a temple, they wanted me to speak in Gujarati, so I delivered a speech in Gujarati. Then 17th, there was a talk at Hindu temple of Indianapolis, very big temple, beautiful temple. So they had organized that satsang in the evening. So that talk was on Swami Vivekananda and practical spirituality. And then 18th, there was a talk at Cincinnati on stress management. Then on 19th, I took a flight from there to Washington, D.C. On 20th evening, there was a talk at Washington, D.C. on happiness and peace in everyday life. And 21st, I started by flight to New York area, Newark area, that is near New Jersey area. And that was on 21st. And 22nd morning, there was a talk at Vedanta Society, New York. This center was started by Swami Vivekananda in 1894. Ramakrishna Mission officially was started on 1st May 1897, but this center was started earlier to that. So it's in the Adi Center. So before formal starting of Swami Ramakrishna Mission by Swami Vivekananda, in 1894 he established it. Of course, the building was different than the present building. So that is the center where Sarvpriyananji is the minister in charge. So he performed worship in the morning. That was Durga Ashtami day. Incidentally, it happened to be Durga Ashtami day, so he had a worship. And then I delivered a speech on living Durga, that is Mother Sharda Devi. Swami Vivekananda had given this title to Holy Mother Sharda Devi. In his letter, he wrote, Swami Vivekananda wrote to Mahapurush Maharaj that Swami Shivananji, his brother disciple, that Baburam Das' mother, it seems that her head has gone. She wants to worship the Mother Durga in clay image, while this living Durga is here. That is meaning Sharda Devi. So anyway, that talk was there on living Durga, that is on Holy Mother Sharda Devi. 22nd evening, Sunday, Swami Vivekananda Study and Philanthropy Center of New York. There the talk was organized on Mother Durga, and they wanted me to speak in Bengali, so I spoke in Bengali there. Of course, many devotees are already gone for Durga Pujas elsewhere. So only a few limited people were there, so they wanted me to speak in Bengali, so I spoke in Bengali. Then 23rd morning, there was some time. That is the only time when I could I could find some time to visit a new Akshardham prepared in Robin Villa area because actually that new Akshardham was started on 8th, and I was invited for that, but on that day already my lecture was fixed, so I said, okay, if time permitting, I'll go for some, at least to visit that place. So I visited that place, Akshardham, and 23rd evening, there was a talk at Vivekanand Vidyapeeth. It's a beautiful center started by Mahendra Bhai Jani and Vandana Ben Jani, and this was my 5th visit to America and 5th visit to Vivekanand Vidyapeeth. There is not a single visit which has not been, no visit is complete without the visit to Vivekanand Vidyapeeth. Always, every time they had organized my programs and wonderful atmosphere there. The students and the ex-students, they come in white dress. They are disciplined, they are very much disciplined, and they are doing good work. At the weekends, all the Indian origin students, they come here to learn about Indian scriptures, Indian culture, music, devotional songs, Vedic chanting. So for 12 years almost, they come every Saturday or Sunday, weekends, and they get this type of training and this type of samskaras, which is a very good activity. So that was 23rd evening, spiritual intelligence for ultimate success. 24th morning, there was little time. So I told them that I need to purchase a few items because when I'll go there, the devotees will ask, what did you bring? They said, actually, everything is available in India. Whatever we get much better in quality and at less cost in India. So it is the other way around. We take from India to America, and you want to take from America to India. And most of the items you will find, though they are calling it American, if you go inside, it will be written made in China or made in India nowadays. So anyway, so just we went for 2 hours in some mall and purchased a few chocolates. And 24th evening, there was a satsang at Mr. Parikh's family, at Parikh family's place, residence, where I was staying. And then the topic was Avatar Varishta Sri Ramakrishna. It was very well attended, and 25th morning they went from there to Dr. Bhadra Shah. She did not come to meet me because she was not well. So I went to see her, and she has been assisting the various welfare activities of Ramakrishna Mission for many years, since the time she was the chairperson of Share and Care Foundation. At present also she is the chairperson of Sakhi Foundation. And so she has been helping us a lot in various carrying of various activities. So since she could not come because of her poor health, so I went there, saw her, and then from there I went to Vedanta Society. I stayed there with Sarvapriyananji, and there Sarat Sagar, who invited me, incidentally that was his birthday, so we celebrated his birthday. And 26th morning, I started by train to Boston. In the evening, I met Swami Tyaganandji and a few devotees also. And 27th morning, there was a talk at Babson College on Indian Ethos for Modern Management. This college is quite popular, and it has been receiving the Best College Award for many years now, particularly on entrepreneurship. It has got a unique contribution. In 28th morning, there was a talk at Vedanta Society Providence on fourth wave of management. 28th evening, afternoon, I started by train to go back to New Jersey. 29th morning, I went to Long Island, where Gayatri Parivar, in one particular high school, they conduct Gayatri Parivar conducts various programs for the children on the weekend. They are also doing good work to impart samskaras to the children of Hindu families particularly, and they are giving samskaras. They call them Sunday morning. there in that place, in that high school. And various grades are there and various programs are there. So I addressed the students on way to success, secret of success. And that was for the students. And there was another talk for the parents on effective parenting. And I tried to know their problems. So it seems the problems faced by our Indian parents and the American parents, not much difference. And they asked questions also, and I replied the questions. And I said I will be only talking on because I have got experience only of the Indian parents, Indian parenting system. But they said that the problems remain the same, more or less. So solution remains the same. So that was on effective parenting, followed by interaction with the students. And then 20th evening, there was a satsang at the place where I stayed. Pankaj Bhai Talsania, who happens to be from Rajkot. And there was informal satsang there. And on the 30th morning, he took me to the airport. I reached the airport at about 8:15. 11:15 was the flight. It was little delayed. And so I took the flight at about 12 o'clock from New York, that is JFK airport, and it was a non-stop flight. While coming also non-stop flight, while returning also non-stop flight of Air India. And it came to Mumbai on 31st, 12 o'clock. You feel after 24 hours, no, it is not that. It is 14 hours drive, 14 hours of flight. While going also, it is not only 5 hours, it is 14 hours. But while coming, we lose time, while going, we gain time. So 31st morning at about 11:30, reached Bombay airport, then the immigration and all that. 4 o'clock took the flight, 5:30, I reached Rajkot. More or less the climate was very good, except for 13th morning, little bit of rains in Chicago, and rains on 28 and 29, that is in New York area. Apart from that, always bright sunshine, the whole climate was very good, and all the programs went off very well. But for the fact that it was a Halloween week, people are very excited about Halloween week there, and so they have late night programs. So it affects the attendance on the next day. That may be there. And then in America, you have to have programs only on weekends. You cannot have program on weekdays. So I told some organizer, how can I get 7 Sundays in 1 week? You want all of you want program on Sundays. So there is only 1 Sunday in 7 days. Other 6 days it is weekday and not weekend. So whatever, they organize the program on weekdays, and whatever some people, they came and they were benefited. So in the whole, it was a very satisfactory program in the sense that everything went on smoothly, and all the people, they attended the program with great interest and enthusiasm. All the places we distributed the books of Swami Vivekananda and other books. And I had the satisfaction of carrying out the command of Sri Ramakrishna Master Ardari Swami Vivekananda, taking their message to the people. And there were, wherever question answer sessions were there, very interesting question answer sessions were there in many places. So on the whole, it was a good program. By the grace of Sri Ramakrishna Master Ardari Swami Vivekananda, everything went off well. So my humble pranams at the feet, and prayed that all of us can get devotion at the lotus feet, and we can fulfill, we can implement the teachings given by them. Sri Ramakrishna, with our humble salutations, I end here. To Sri Ramakrishna Sarada Devi Swami Vivekananda. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.